I wanted to just quickly talk briefly about the work you're doing at Safe Passage right now. How did you get into that? Tell me a little bit more about it, if possible.
Okay, and there is a DNA link that I'm going to bring up actually.
Okay.
I've always had a massive interest in the refugee sector because my grandfather came to the UK as a Polish refugee after the Second World War. He was fighting in the Polish Air Force and settled in the UK. And then my dad came over as part of Windrush, so I'm a daughter of Windrush. I've just always had this passion for being able to support this area of work. And when the job at Safe Passage came up, I just thought, oh, wow. I've tried. It has to be said, I did apply for a job as chief exec at another well-known refugee organisation and didn't get it, but was quite close. And then when this came up, I was the interim CEO, and then they were looking for a permanent CEO as well. And I said, look, this is an amazing organisation. Please, can you consider me for the permanent role? And they did. And we've got offices in Paris, in Athens, so we can support people in those countries as well who've managed to get across the Mediterranean. We are doing work in Sudan, in Gaza. We had a quite well publicised return of a young boy who we managed to get out of Gaza and to reunite with his family. And this is about working with unaccompanied minors, working with children, working with vulnerable refugees to reunite them with families. And I can't think of anything better that I would want to be doing. And one of the thing that I found out about DNA, which was interesting, is that when people are making applications, and especially if they're children, if you have, for example, someone who's in the UK and they're trying to get their brother, let's say, or their sister over, then you have to prove that you have a relationship. And I was absolutely horrified that DNA is used in this way. And there's no counselling for people or anything. There's just a sort of, oh, this is the result. Yeah, they're your brother or they're not or whatever. And I've got a kind of mini campaign coming on, obviously, because in genealogy, we have lots of groups, lots of Facebook groups. There are counsellors. And if you're adopted and you're looking for your family, there's support there. But in this particular area, it's just seen as a scientific proof method. And there are areas of age assessment, which are things like measuring somebody's wrist or age assessment is a really disputed area, and especially for young Black and Asian people, because we know about adultification. We know that people are going to say, oh, you're an adult, when actually they're 14 or 15. It's like life, isn't it? All of these things overlap. So, yeah, I think this is such an incredibly amazing job. I wish I didn't have it because I wish we didn't need to do this. But as long as I do, then it's a privilege to be able to play a small part in supporting people to do this really important work.
I definitely want to say thank you. I'm grateful for people like you, people like Samara. Samara also works in a similar field. People like the both of you who are like, your daily job is to actually help people and change people's lives for the better. And that's impressive. That's what we should all be striving for on a daily basis. So thank you very much, Dr. Wanda, for that. I wanted to ask one more question as we're getting to the end of the podcast. So as someone who has dedicated their life to exploring identity and history, what do you hope the future generations will take from your work? Like, what legacy are you hoping to leave behind?
Oh, it seems quite vain to think of a legacy.
I'll leave one behind regardless. So which one do you want to leave behind?
That's true. I think I want the next generations to feel the power of that belonging, because it's something that I didn't feel. I don't feel like I belong in Barbados. I don't feel like I'm Bajan. I feel I've had so many years where I've not really known who I am. And I still don't really know who I am, but I have to make peace with that. So I want them to have the power of knowing and of being able to choose who they want to be, but choose who they want to be, knowing what all of the options are. I want them to do their family history, and then I want them to go to Barbados, and then I want them to go to Africa, and I want them to be in a place where they are the majority. I've never lived anywhere where most of the people look like me, and that has to have an effect on you.
Definitely.
So, know your family so that you can know yourself, I think would just be the best thing.
Amazing. And just to follow up on that, how can we make tools like genealogy and DNA more accessible to our people, to marginalized communities, and help them reclaim their history? What practical advice can we give to them to help them try to achieve what you've just said?
Well, talk to your parents, talk to your grandparents, anyone in your family. There are lots of lessons on YouTube or on the Society of Genealogists website about taking you through sources. The family search source is free. You can look at those. And also, there are the big databases. There's Ancestry, there's Find My Past, there's My Heritage, and they all have different sets of records on. So think about just draw your basic family tree first and put as many of your cousins, brothers, all of that, and just sit and look and think, okay, who's still alive? Who can I talk to? And also they're passing on their history to you. When you're learning things about them and about the times that they lived through that are going to help you and are going to support you sometimes when you think about what people have been through and you're going through a hard time, we can all sit there and think, okay, we can get through this. We've done this before. So yeah, it's really powerful to hear those stories and to be interested.
Amazing. And when you said draw your own family history, it triggered something in my head because as you said that, I was like, okay, if I was to do that, what tool would I use? I'd probably use like Miro or Escaladraw. I'm just thinking of tech tools that allows me to Canva so that I was trying to visualize it. But I was like, shouldn't there be a tool that makes this thing easy already? Because I was thinking if I did that, it would get pretty messy. I won't be able to track stuff or search. So maybe I need to create a database. But I'm like, no, probably not a database. I'm like, isn't there a tool that allows this already?
This is just Hamid's mind. He's talking about
I know exactly where he's going with that. As you were saying that, I was just thinking, I have a fountain pen here. This is my first tool that I write things down with. But you're right. As part of my master's, I'm getting to grips with a software package called Family Tree Maker. And you can put the sources in, you can put notes in, you can draw up charts, you can do all sorts of things. Because you're right, you go back a few generations. And I mean, my notes, honestly, they're just absolutely all over the place because I'm a paper person. I love stationery.
Yeah.
But I'm now having to train myself to actually be focused on this and to do this a step at a time because I just went mad and wrote everything down and then had to go back to it and couldn't remember what I'd done in the first place and wasted so much time. So Family Tree Maker, Legacy, there's lots of different software packages for family history, for genealogy.
Do those software packages allow connections with other people? So if I, for example, had a Family Tree Maker account, created my family tree, and then I let my cousin, my third cousin or something do the same thing, can we then connect our accounts and link between people and be like, oh yeah, this is auntie whatever, connect to your uncle over there? Can we like make it a big like brainstorming type of mind map amazing experience? Do those tools do that?
So most people do their trees on Ancestry, and so you can let people into it and you can merge data from different trees. It's quite dangerous because if you haven't done your checking, you end up with a whole load of stuff that somebody else has done that might not be right. And trust me, I've been there. So it's very easy to go, oh yeah, great, they've done 6 generations. And then you suddenly think, actually, it wasn't that George Smith, it was another George Smith. So do be careful when you're doing that. There's a really brilliant piece of software out now. It's a website called We Are XYZ, I think. And this is exactly what it allows you to do. So it allows everybody to be in the same space. And then it allows you to upload things like pictures or, you know, like you might have your auntie's favorite cooking spoon and then you put a picture of that up and someone else says, oh, I remember when she did this and whatever, and it just brings these memories. So it's a repository and an archive for a family to put all of their stuff together, and also to create videos and things now so that if I was going on holiday with my son, I could do a little video and then the generations after me will see, oh, that's when they went to Barbados, for example. It's a really brilliant website that I absolutely love, and that's perfect for diaspora families.
What website is it?
It's called We Are, and I think it's xyz.com or something like that. But it is really great because when I look at my Global Homes family WhatsApp, I'm going to have to go back through that and say Auntie Marcia was this and this and go back through like years of people saying what they were doing. But if we were all on that, you know, people in Florida, people in Barbados, people in the UK, all across the diaspora.
Everybody could work together.
Everybody works together, yeah. So I think that is the future. The other thing is there is a file, because I know you want to get technical. There's a type of file which is called a GEDCOM file. And it's a file that has all of that data in it about your family tree. Okay. So you can then give that file to somebody else or they can give it to you and you can merge things that way as well.
Okay, good. The more you talk about it, the more I'm like, it reminds me of a graph database.
More practical.
So yes, that's what I always default to thinking practically and the tech side of it, because that's what I'm working on. I'm working on a tech startup, so tech side of it is always interesting me.
Yeah, because
It's
if it doesn't
interesting to me.
exist, Hamid will create it. That's the thing.
Very true.
But that's what I'm looking forward to, the new platform for Black genealogy.
Hey,
we got it.
Let's get to it, no problem. So yeah, and any questions from you, Samara? Because I feel like we're coming to the end.
Not really questions, just a lot of appreciation for such a rich and thoughtful conversation, because it's making me think that it is achievable for people of the global majority to connect to their roots, not only through reclaiming their own histories or learning more about it, but also thinking about how do we preserve our identity for our future generations too. Because I have come across on like TikTok and other social medias of people like question cards, like before it's too late, questions to ask your mom and dad. And like it keeps coming up more recently. And I'm thinking, okay, with everything social media, people do start to think, okay, what we could do with this. So I think people are thinking about it more, and it can just be expanded so our future generations can just really know where they come from. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
It's really good to look forward as well, because we tend to, I'm always looking in the past, but I forget that actually my grandchildren might want to know about me. So, you know, what are they going to find on the internet? That's scary, isn't it?
I know, it's true, right? At least.
Yeah, we got to be careful. We got to be careful.
Hey, for all we know, the internet might not exist in the way it does today. With the way tech is going, we might not even have computers. It might all just be in our head. Might Neuralink. You know, you never know.
No. I'm keeping hold of my fountain pen and my paper. You know, if the electricity goes, I'm still fine.
Definitely. But thank you very much for your time today, Dr. Wanda. I really appreciate it. And we are going to put in the description link of this episode all the work that you've done, any papers or books. Oh yeah, you've written a book as well. Your book, a link to your book is going to be in the description. Any other papers that you've published or any links to the platform that we're going to be working on. You know,
that's true. There might be listeners here who have ideas or want to contribute in any way. We've talked about in previous podcasts communities and utilizing the skills that we have within our own communities. Hopefully that.
Work together. Let's build together. That's what we're trying to do here, like foster a community. If there are any listeners that can help with this, definitely get in touch and let us know. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.